Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Tita, and I am the sustainability manager of Musimas, mainly focused on the sustainability certification and also conservation of Musimas on plantation. So just a bit of background on Musimas. We are the palm oil producer, and our integrated business is covering plantation, refining, and processing and also manufacturing. But our problem statement today will focus on at the plantation level. So as a responsible producer and as well as RSPO member, we are committed to sustainable practices. So we're not just like producing product, but we also take care of our environment. We actually identify the area that needs protection due to biodiversity value. We protect, maintain, and enhance that area that we call conservation area through the sets of activity by our sustainability team. Okay. So one of the activities conducted by our ground team is actually monitoring the conservation area. The purpose is actually to help us to understanding the trend and impact of our operations to the environment so that we can develop the action and strategy moving forward. So as you can see on the screen, our ground team will collect the real and primary data of flora and fauna from approximately 29,000 hectares of our conservation area across 14 plantations with over 200 of monitoring plots. So basically, we are collecting like data of birds, mammal, reptile, and also butterfly once in every 2 months. So the challenge that we have now currently is we're doing it manually. So our team will be going to the field and then they will be collecting the data. And after the data is collected from the ground, they will go back to the office and then they need to be transfer all of the data into the Excel format and then send it to the headquarter office via email for our analysis purposes. And as for the timeline itself, collecting the data itself will take up approximately 4 weeks, and then we need to transfer it into the Excel format. It consumes another 2 weeks, so the whole process itself can take up approximately 6 weeks until we at the HQ level can receive all of the data for analysis. And when we receive the data, it's also a massive data, as you can see in the screen. It's quite a huge process that we need to process it manually to see the biodiversity trends year on year increasing, or are we gaining new species or are we losing a species? So from this monitoring, we see the opportunity to eliminate the manual approach and then to eliminate the lack of the data, and then we want to minimize the error as well. And we would like to improve the process through integrated system to make it more effective and also efficient. So as for the solution, we are thinking of a field and also web app. And the field and web app is actually the main function is for data entry, for processors and also for storage. And the application must at least have to fulfill these minimum requirements, such as it needs to be digital, of course, and user friendly. And then it needs to be able to be open in a multi-device because when our ground team going to the field, they will be using their smartphone. And then when they go back to the office, they will likely using it in the either tablet, PC, or laptop. And then it must also allow an offline data entry because when our ground team going to the field, they will be going to the rural area where there is limited signals. So the data cannot be uploaded to the cloud or to the storage at the time. And also it needs to have a centralized data storage because whenever our ground team collect the data, we at the HQ must also get, we want to get the data immediately. So without having to wait like for days or weeks for them to upload it into the Excel and then send it via email to us. And then we also want the field web to be like able to do the trend analysis and also historical Excel data upload from past years. And for the proof of concept itself, we are expecting to test it in one of our plantation in Riau in the Q3 of 2026. And the support from Musimas will be like a manpower, and then we can also provide with the data for solution building and testing. And upon successful solution, it is also potential scalable deployment to another of our sites and potential scalability to other plantation companies or other relevant institution who might need this application. Yeah. I think that's the end of our presentation. Happy to take your question, if any. Thank you.
Thank you, Dita. Any questions? Please type in the chat box. Dita, meanwhile, we wait for the question. Just would like to check, have you deployed any solution in the past? And how did that go? And anything that you can share?
Yeah. Actually, we tried, well, for now, actually, we invite also a researcher previously, like to help us on this. But the main challenge is really because we need the field and also web app that it can be, using when we are not connected to the internet. And some of the problems also on our storage also. So that's why I think with this problem statement, if we can have a solution, then yeah, it will be good for us in improving our monitoring activities.
Got it. Understood. Yep. I believe there's a question from Navarin. Can I understand what is the ERP system being used right now? How is the data integration being envisioned from all the multiple sources?
Yeah, the ERP, the system, we're not currently using the ERP now. I mean, the data integration is basically based on the Excel format. So we're using long format. That's why we want to move our data into a digital-based solution.
Got it. Hope that answered your question, Navarun. And I think there's a follow-up question. Would you require the platform DMS to do reporting?
That would be great. Yeah, if we can have, well, basically from the data, we want first feature that we need the data that we can do a trend analysis like year to year, or maybe to see whether some species are increasing or decreasing. But if we can have something to help us on the reporting, that would be good. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Hope that answered the question, Navarun. Yes, there's a follow-up question. Is the reporting specific to RSPO?
No, not specific to RSPO. We are an RSPO member, and yes, we are required to do the monitoring and the management of biodiversity, but we also need it for other purposes because we have also our sustainability policy, and we have our sustainability report. So the reporting will be used in so many purposes, not only for RSPO.
Got it. Thank you. There's a follow-up. There's another question from Geza. Would Musim consider using carbon plus biodiversity IoT sensors alongside manual field checks to make flora and fauna assessments more cost efficient across large areas?
Interesting, yeah. In the future, maybe, yes. It will be interesting, I mean, to have this, but for the moment, I think we're taking on our approach on our problem statement to make the database digitalized first. Yeah.